Hi there, good afternoon. You tuned into ET now, and this is Market Fatafat with me, Cheryl D'Souza. Along with me, I have Avan Dubash, and Avan, definitely we are color coordinated with the season that it is, but definitely the markets are not liking the color that I'm wearing.
Absolutely not. It's the season, but I don't think anyone wants to see red on the screen. But that's exactly how it's played out. There was a meltdown, if you will, on Wall Street, and you had the Asian markets taking cue, although the SGX Nifty was tempered. Looks like we're sub the 18K mark, so hovering around the 17,900 mark in today's trading session. That's 225 points off on the Sensex. You've got the Nifty Bank Index, which is down 500 points. The Mid-Cap Index, by the way, is bleeding. So it's 2.6% down. You can see that underperformance that's very evident, and not just in today's trading session, but for the past many days. Take it to the list of losers because there's precisely two stocks that are in the green. You've got Adani Ports as a big drag, Adani Enterprises, and remember these have been wealth creators in the year gone by. Seeing some pressure there. Tata Steel, Coal India, Hindalco, Hero MotoCorp, L&T, SBI. Actually put your finger on any of those names and they're all under pressure. Like I said, just two stocks or two or three stocks in the green. That's Divi's Labs, Titan and Kotak Mahindra Bank. Let's bring on board then Vaishali Parekh, who joins in on the technicals. And Vaishali, let's get in your take on the frontline indices as well. Clearly, that Santa Claus rally that we were anticipating isn't quite going to play out. So where to from the 17,900 levels? Is it just a flash on the pan move?
Good afternoon, all of you. First of all, yes, we've been seeing a good fall right from 18,600 to now. Today, we made a low of nearly 17,850. So from here on, we may see some small bounce coming in, but of course the trend is damaged. This opens downside targets of 17,500. And as far as Bank Nifty is concerned, we may see a near-term support coming at 41,600, failing which again we would be seeing some selling pressure setting in Bank Nifty as well.
Right, so that's the take coming in on the markets. But let's bring on board our team of researchers today. And on the show today, we are joined by Lisa, as well as I believe we have Harsh joining us on the show to take us through all the stocks that are buzzing in trade today. So first up, let me take the first stock then. I have NLC India. That is the one that is sulking in trade today, like the rest of the market. But there's a news flow for NLC India for declining so much in trade today. The company reported that the Unit 1 of the Neyveli new thermal power station in Tamil Nadu had a fire incident, and 5 workers over there sustained injuries. The company has said that the unit has stopped operations for checks, and an inquiry committee has been formed to study the cause of the fire. The stock, however, remember, is down for a 4th consecutive trading session now on.
Okay, let's move right on then and pull up Bandhan Bank, where putting the spotlight on this counter as Goldman Sachs has got it on its radar. They believe that the sale of the written down portfolio is going to be a positive surprise. Now, Bandhan Bank announced that it's going to transfer their group loan and small business agriculture loan that's been written off portfolio to an ARC. Now they've received a bidding from an ARC which amounts to about 800 odd crore rupees. Now, the view from Goldman Sachs is this asset sale could help Bandhan Bank to shore up their provisioning. The management as well has highlighted its intention to ramp up their provision levels when the opportunity arises. And while the full details are not clear of the sale, they believe that if it were to go ahead, the bid of about 800 crores assumes 15% cash consideration, and that is going to be the PCR on the total stressed book of Bandhan Bank would go up to about 83.1% from 81.4%. They believe in the PNL, the bank could likely increase their provisioning, given that it has to rebuild the reserves, in which case the impact would be negligible on their PNL.
All right, from Bandhan Bank, moving on to a large PSU bank, and that is SBI. Vaishali, this is the first stock that you're going to talk about, and SBI today is down and out, just like the rest of the market. The PSU bank, but have been a bright spot over the last 2 months. Where do you see SBI headed from here on now?
So I think actually the long-term trend is damaged, and today we saw that the selling has just begun after breaking the crucial support levels of 590, 600 levels. So I would say this market is likely to continue to see some selling. So in sync with that, SBI could go to 550 levels.
All right, let's move right on then. SBI in the spotlight, moving on to JK Cement. And Lisa, it's also on the brokerage radar today.
Yes, so JK Cement is in focus on the back of a brokerage note from Citi. They have maintained a sell on the stock at a target price of 2,400 per share, and that entails a downside of 18% from CMP. The news is that JK Cement will be acquiring Acro Paints, and the investment is in line with the JK Cement's plan, and they will be acquiring 60% stake in Acro Paints for rupees 153 crore via subsidiary JK Paints, and the remaining 40% will be acquired in the next 12 months. So though Citi thinks that the paint market is attractive, however, Acro's current utilization and margins are quite low. So the stock is currently trading down 3%.
Right, that is JK Cement for you under pressure in today's trading session. Bahar, City Union Bank, this one, what's the news flow surrounding this particular counter today? Because for the last few days, this has been under a negative news flow. No doubt the stock tried to recover most of the days.
Well, yes, Cheryl. So today, actually, the management came out and explained themselves. Mind you, this is with regard to the divergence that the RBI has cited on City Union Bank, and that's so the management has come out and explained themselves. What they've said is that the bank does have an appropriate cushion with regard to profits to absorb this particular provisions number, which is roughly in the range of 180 odd crore. But there will be recoveries within this 180 crore basket as well. So they're suggesting that despite that as well, they have enough cushion left with regard to their profitability. If FY22 is taken into account, FY23 profitability has been better. With regard to why the lapses have occurred, they've said that there is a system issue with regard to recognizing provisions, and they're going to try and repair that going forward. So that is something that one will have to watch out for as to how do they repair it and how quickly are they able to repair it. They're quite confident that they're going to repair it fairly quickly. And of course, the third issue with regard to leadership, the current leadership is up for change again for reappointment next year, and they're quite confident that that will come through from the RBI. So a couple of clarifications, but the stock is down nonetheless, down 4.5% in trade today as well.
Indeed, we spoke with the management just earlier this morning, clarified on the same. We're sticking with the banks then, and Vaishali, it's Bank of Baroda. There was only a one-way move, and that was upwards for a lot of these PSU banks. So is the signs of profit booking now inevitable?
I think so, because overall PSU banking sector had given us a good run-up. So, well, after seeing the all-time highs in Bank of Baroda and all, I think most of the PSU sector banks have got into deep corrective mode, and I think there is further selling pressure coming in this as well.
All right, so that is Bank of Baroda for you. But let's talk about another counter that is under pressure on back of news flows, and that is India Cement. India Cement on Thursday said that the CCI had conducted a search at its office in Chennai. They also said that it had not committed any breach of CCI regulation, and this is in response to the clarification that was sought by the stock exchanges on the reports that were making rounds on India Cement. So after that, the company basically has clarified that they are pretty fine with it. They have not been in violation to any regulation, but still the stock is under pressure. 6.9% downtick coming in on India Cement on back of that particular development.
To number 8 then, and Vaishali, let's discuss the chart of Voltas. In the last 6 months or so, from those elevated 820 levels, it's fallen to 785. Do you believe it's a good time to buy into the stock, and are you seeing 4 digits anytime soon?
Frankly speaking, I was considering a good buy even at 800 levels because I thought that was a very good support level. But now seeing the longer term time period, like even on the weekly chart, though it is in the oversold zone, the stock is showing signs of bottoming out. But I would wait and watch because, well, if 780 levels break decisively, the correction would continue.
All right, check in on Voltas. Let's move right on then to Steel Strips Wheels is a newsmaker. It's an auto component maker, and the company has said that they've acquired a 26% stake in Clean Max Astrea Private, and this is close to 2,600 shares of 10 rupees each that they have acquired. The company has also gone on to say that they will further invest in one or more tranches, about 3.9 crores in Max Astrea Private, maintaining their shareholding to 26% of the share paid up capital. The acquisition has been done for establishing and developing wind and solar hybrid power generation facilities in Gujarat, and they are looking at entering the energy supply agreement and shareholders agreement as well.
All right, moving on, let's talk about steel major Vaishali. Tata Steel metal counters are under pressure with what is happening in China and also the global price movement. But where do you see Tata Steel headed from here on?
So overall, all metal stocks have shown a downward trend now. So I think the first sell short target would be at around 100 levels. 100 should act as a prominent support. Else we would be seeing also 95, 96 levels.
Fair enough. Moving on to another newsmaker. And Lisa, why is United Spirits in the spotlight today?
So yes, this is on the back of a management meet that they had with Motilal Oswal. They said that the recently concluded sale of the popular brand was essential as they had no right to win in this segment. Their material cost outlook that remains challenging in the near term because neither the glass cost prices nor the ENA prices and the soda ash prices also, it has doubled over the last 1 year. On the pricing, the retail price of the imported Scotch portfolio will come down by 6 to 7% on the back of potential benefit of the UK and India FTA. So all in all, the raw material volatility and also the rollback of Delhi excise policy are likely to hit the top line and earnings for the next few quarters. So it looks like a jumbo of all the negatives factored in. So yes, Motilal Oswal has a neutral rating on United Spirits. So though it looks good for the consumers, it doesn't look good for the stock.
All right, talking about another large cap then, and Tata Motors, Vaishali. If you look at this particular counter, it has been one of the stocks that a lot of them have actually bagged. A lot of technical analysts saw a lot of up move in this one. But where do you see Tata Motors headed from here on? Do you think that it will continue to shine in the coming weeks or in the new year?
Well, actually, ever since it was added in the Nifty 50 category, people were all bullish, and so were we, because technically 408 was a very prominent support. The minute that support broke, we had a negative view on this, and I think the slide can further continue. We are already at 380 levels. 370 should be the sign of bottoming out, so that is the level that I would be looking at.
All right, interesting tracking those levels on Tata Motors. Moving right on then, NTPC, Harsh, why is that making your list today?
Well, Avan, NTPC and GE have partnered to reduce carbon intensity at NTPC's plants. Now, that's a big plus, definitely on the back of the ESG thrust that's been coming through across parameters globally. And that's also led to ESG investing. And, NTPC has seen a bit of a drag due to that. But at the moment, first of its kind, coal fleet decarbonization happening in the country, and NTPC is leading that. And the partnership aims to demonstrate technologies for firing higher percentage of torrefied biomass in NTPC's coal-fired units as well. So definitely a plus. But at the moment, the stock absolutely soft on a pretty weak day of trade, down 1% and a quarter percent.
All right, that is NTPC for y'all. But Vaishali, talking about Kotak Mahindra Bank, and this one also actually, if you look at the performance of Kotak Mahindra Bank, it has underperformed most of its peers through the course of the year. And also now, a lot of them have a sell call on this one when it comes to the charts. Are you also of the similar belief that Kotak Mahindra Bank has actually peaked out already?
So I would say Kotak Mahindra actually has not participated in the rally at all. So, the sell would be a confirmed sell if we break 1800 levels. Till then, it's a wait and watch. I was in fact expecting a bounce contrary to the Bank Nifty altogether. But seeing the new round of selling, I would wait for 1800 levels to be checked. If those levels are held on, then maybe we may see a bounce. Otherwise, it negates the view.
All right, moving on, let's talk about CE Info or MapMy India. And why is this one in focus is because they said that the Mapples app by MapMy India has introduced a path-breaking junction views in navigation to enable safer driving and help minimize road accidents. Remember that a lot of their services are used by top mobile phone companies. So on back of that, you have MapMy India that's in focus. Stock is doing absolutely nothing. It is flat and trade with a positive bias.
Let's move right on then and track DB's Laboratories, because Vaishali, the move in the last month or so has been nothing short of inspirational, or in the last 5 days actually, as the stock has picked up strength, now moved all the way from 3,300 to 3,500. What's your view on the charts?
So actually this was acting as a defensive counter, and we have recommended this stock right from 3,400 levels, and it is showing some sign of an upward move. But it's not very convincing right now, because this was in sync with the pharma index. Pharma index above 13,000 levels was holding a lot of strength and favorable buy trade. But just as the market is witnessing new round of selling, I think pharma index also has shown its resistance at 13,000. So but technically as of now, keeping the stop loss intact, this could act as a defensive counter, looking for a target of 3,700, 3,800.
37 to 3,800 is on the cards for Divi's Laboratories. Let's check in on RVNL, or Rail Vikas Nigam. The stock is in the spotlight. The company has bagged an order this time around, a contract worth about 198 crore rupees for the construction of the Besan Depot and Workshop from the Gujarat Metro Rail Corporation, or GMRC. This entails the construction of the depot and the workshop, including DDC, BCC and associated electrical and mechanical works. The company, remember, is engaged in the business of implementing various types of railway infrastructure, and they said that the order is going to be executed within the next 20 months or so.
All right, moving on, let's talk about Escorts Kubota, as it's now known as Vaishali, and this one has had a stellar run through the course of the year, scaling a new record high level as well. But over the last 1 month or so, the stock is kind of consolidating right now. Do you see it continue this consolidatory phase for a longer period of time, or do you think that the stock will recover and scale past that record high levels once again?
So this is a stock which is an exceptional to the downtrend. The long-term trend is intact, and it is not reacting so much in a corrective market like this. So I would look at 2,000 levels, because currently it is 2,047. If 2,000 levels break, then I would see a further downside, or else 2,000 would be a good buying opportunity.
All right, that's the word coming in on Escorts Kubota. Lisa, meantime, let's discuss PB Fintech as well.
So PB Fintech is in focus today, as it is on the back of a brokerage note from Nuvama. They have initiated a buy with a target price of 550 rupees with an upside potential of 26%. So they say that Policy Bazaar has created a niche for itself in exciting online financial products, and the low penetration, it underpins the growth conviction on this budding segment. The profitability riders are renewals, efficiency and scale. They believe that the company would break even on adjusted EBITDA in FY24 and would be PBT positive in FY25. So in sync with the market, the stock is currently down 2.6%.
Right. Vaishali, let's talk about HDFC Bank, and this is a counter where everyone tends to back but is not rewarded the shareholders this time around. Do you think that 2023 will be a brighter year for HDFC Bank and its investors?
I would think so, because Kotak Bank that I mentioned, even HDFC Bank has not performed as much as we saw in the frontline other banking stocks like Axis, ICICI and so on. So, and even right now, currently, I see that the trend is intact. 1540 holds as a very crucial support level. So from here on, I think for a long-term basis, this is ready for a target of 1700 to 1750. So this is still a favorite in the banking sector.
All right, continuing to bank on HDFC Bank. Moving on then, Harsh, let's discuss the next newsmaker and Mahindra Life Spaces in the news.
Purchased 9+ acres of land. Kandivali East in Mumbai is the location of that land. They bought it from Mahindra & Mahindra, which is a parent of Mahindra Life Spaces, and they've bought it for a consideration of 365 crore to be payable in tranches at an interest of 7%. That's how the transaction is currently structured. As of course, that's a positive for the stock. The stock is up over 50% over the last 6 months, but currently languishing down 2.5% in trade today.
All right, and that is Mahindra Lifespace for you. But from coal to cements to airports, Gautam Adani has dominated headlines throughout the year 2022, Avan. And Adani has actually witnessed his personal wealth surge to above $58 billion with the help of his 7 companies. He's also managed to topple Amazon's Jeff Bezos as the world's second richest man and continues with his M&As in sectors like realty, defense, solar and much more. So here's a special report on how Gautam Adani became the biggest gainer in the year 2022.
What a year it's been for Gautam Adani. The billionaire takeover tycoon has dominated headlines in 2022. Briskly expanding his commodity trading company into a coal to port to energy conglomerate, he is the only Indian to have built not only one, but 7 companies with a market cap of 1 lakh crore. Gautam Adani has seen a $58 billion surge in his personal wealth this year, the most among the world's richest people according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index.
It is an accepted fact that India will remain a domestic, consumption-driven economy for a long while.
Adani's meteoric rise has seen him beat Amazon's Jeff Bezos as the world's second richest man, more than doubling his wealth in the last 1 year. Making it to the world's second richest person, Gautam Adani's wealth, according to the IIFL Wealth Harun India Rich List, has seen him add a whopping 1,600 crores per day, yes, per day, over the last 1 year. In simple terms, Adani's wealth gain in 2022 is so massive that the next 9 business barons would need to join forces together to combat their top competitor. In fact, author of Gautam Adani, Reimagining Business in India and the World, R.N. Bhaskar, shares some interesting tidbits.
One thing that differentiates Gautam Adani from other players in India is that he will never make a company go public unless he has first generated the profits. In other words, he'll put his own money, set up his plant, make profits, and when he's convinced that the profits are sustainable, he will then go public.
The breakneck speed of expansion of each of the businesses under the Adani umbrella has been in large part due to the shopping spree, with a host of mergers and acquisitions by the Adani Group. Some notable ones include the $6.4 billion cash deal with Wholesome, the acquisition of majority stake in Mumbai Airports and the building of the Navi Mumbai Airport, Adani Green Energy's acquisition of SB Energy Holdings for $3.5 billion, Adani Wilmar's acquisition of the Kohinoor brand, and the recent buyout of broadcaster NDTV. And a large portion of his wealth has also been pledged to charity, close to 60,000 crore rupees when he turned 60 in June this year, making him one of India's most generous philanthropists. From humble beginnings as a diamond trader to helming one of the largest business empires in the country, Gautam Adani's rise to power has been nothing short of ordinary. And the journey, it seems, has only just begun as he gears up for his next phase of growth in realty, defense, solar manufacturing, and much more.
Welcome back. Still tuned into Market Fatafat. In a short while, we have a very special guest who will be joining in on the show, actually, Cheryl. I'm not divulging any details as of now. Okay, is our guest ready? He'll be with us in just a short while from now. He'll bring a smile to a lot of people's faces. But before we get him
I
on
think
board,
I'm already smiling before in anticipation of who the guest is. No doubt.
Yeah, but unfortunately it's not Kunal Rambia, but Kunal is our next guest
On the show.
On the show. Kunal, I'm sure you can bring lots of smiles to viewers' faces. Let's get in your views then on individual stocks. Start off with IEX.
Yeah, hi. Very good afternoon. Probably I'll be that fortunate person who will bring some smile on our viewers' face in future also. So coming to IEX, if you look at the counter, this is near to the extreme lows, and these lows are almost similar to October low, where the counter made a low of around 138. Right now it's trading at 133. seems to be a fall without volume. So keeping that in mind, we initiate a buy here. Keeping the stop loss of 130, I expect the counter to bounce back till 145 and probably 150 in the time to come.
Right, there you have it. That's stock number 22, IEX on the charts. But let's not waste any time then. And Cheryl, before we go to your next stock, we have a very special guest, as I said. And right here is our very jolly... Oi! Santa, whose face has been cut off completely. Okay,
that's
chalo,
a
he's come right.
surprise.
That was the
Surprise.
unveil
Yeah,
of Santa Claus on Market Fatafat. Santa, what gifts have you got for us?
Well, I got you some very fattening sugar-free chocolates.
Sugar-free chocolates.
Chalo, we shall take it. Thank you so much.
Thank you
It
so
will bring a
much.
smile to our faces.
I'm sure.
And can we put some gifts in a stocking and stuff and send it across?
Oh yes, of course, there's a lot of them over here.
you've
But
got a
then
whole bag.
I would like to wish all the viewers for ET Now a very, very Merry Christmas and a very strong and a very prosperous Happy New Year.
Do you also watch the Indian markets very closely, Santa?
Oh, well,
Given
yes.
the fact that we are waiting for the Santa rally, it's not happening, though you've come here.
Well, yes, there will be action and analysts, even important persons are talking about the India's growth story, be it the next 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. Stay invested, stay in the Indian markets.
Oh, thank you, Santa, for giving us all of that faith that I'm sure a lot of our Indian investors really need. And we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Okay, that's Santa Claus waddling back to the newsroom. A great guest. And I'm
Yes,
sure
absolutely. And I love the disappearing act that he's done for all of our viewers today. But yes, it's time to get back to Market Fatafat then. And quickly, let me talk about global health. Why is this company in focus? Global Health, as most of us even know it as Medanta, but the listed entity is known as Global Health. Jefferies has initiated a coverage with a buy rating on the company with a target of 550 rupees per share. They're saying that the healthcare provider has a strong brand equity, strong positioning in the North India, and along with expansion, Medanta will close the valuation gap with the peers. They believe that the valuation re-rating will be led by EBITDA growth as well as ROCE trajectory. EBITDA will grow faster than revenue. So thumbs up coming in for Jefferies, from Jefferies for Global Health. But the stock is under pressure like the rest of the market, as we can see, Aman.
Oh yes, indeed. That's Global Health for you at number 23. I forgot to tell Santa that I don't want 2 sweets. I want a new phone. I need better gifts from Santa.
You have
next time.
another try at it as well. I'm sure you will write that letter in the stocking.
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to be doing just that. But let's move right on then to the next stock, and that is PNC Infra. And they've said that their 2 hybrid annuity mode projects, or HAM projects, the respective SPVs via Hathras Highways Private Limited and Yamuna Highways, wholly owned subsidiaries of the company, they have received communications from the NHAI confirming the achievement of financial closure. Unfortunately, the stock, though, is down and out in tandem with the rest of the market.
Right, but let's talk about Lupin then, Kunal. And Lupin, do you think is going to be a sweet pill for a lot of them coming into 2023, because we've seen the pharma companies making a rebound? You saw yesterday Lupin also bucking the overall market weakness. So do you think that this one is going to be that sweet pill for all of them?
So absolutely, we have been discussing about Lupin since quite a long time. If you look at the September levels, the counter was trading near to 650, 660 levels, and that was a breakout point. And since then, this counter is making a very clear higher top, higher bottom. In fact, in today's morning session also, you can see the counter was trading at around 788. Every line from this level is a clear buying opportunity on Lupin Pharma. Keeping the stop loss of 650 in mind, accumulate the counter. I think this counter is heading for 850 to 900 in the time to come.
Right on then, from Lupin to Lisa's next stock, which is Gujarat Gas. And let's understand why it makes it to your list today.
Yes, so Antique has come out with a report on Gujarat Gas, and they have maintained a buy on the stock at a price of 625 per share, which entails an upside of 31%. However, the delivery volumes in Morbi is now trending at 1.7 million SEM per day versus a peak of 7.5 million SCM per day in which they witnessed in 2021. Propane has taken the lion's share and is currently supplying more than 5 million SCM per day. On the negative side, it's that the current gas volumes are likely to go lower and the near-term challenges persist in the industrial volumes. However, they believe that going forward, procuring the RIL and ONGC's HPHT volumes, that will help Gujarat Gas recover all its lost volumes. On these lines, Gujarat Gas is in focus today and it's currently down 4%.
Harsh, coming to you, Schneider Electric is the counter that you're tracking for us, and what's the news flow surrounding this one?
Well, Cheryl, it's a 3,400 crore market cap company, and it's announced a capex of 425 crore, substantial amount, to set up a new smart factory in Bengaluru. What the facility will do is it will consolidate 6 out of the 10 existing factories for the company in the city and will manufacture a large scope of products from single-phase UPS to three-phase UPS to power distribution units, low-voltage drives, digital energy products, and all of the like, including for prefabricated data centers, relays, and renewable energy products as well. So that's really the announcement that's keeping the stock in focus. But the stock is down largely on the back of the manner in which the market has moved, down around almost 4.5% as we speak.
Right, Capex plans keeping Schneider Electric in the spotlight, though the stock is under a bit of pressure, and ditto is the case with New India Assurance. Kunal, what are you foreseeing on the charts? More downside?
So honestly speaking, if you look at the overall formation right from the extreme lows of around 80s, this counter went up to 140, and the present correction seems to be like 50% of the previous entire rally, and it's near to the support as of now. Extreme selling is already witnessed in the counter. I think now this is making the counter more attractive from the long perspective. So keeping the stop loss of around 105, initiating a buy on this counter with the target of around 125 and 130.
All right, moving on, let's talk about defense counters, and all of them are in focus in today's trading session, be it HL, Cochin Shipyard, Mazagon Dock. All of them are actually seeing a move just in tandem with what the markets are doing right now. All of them are under pressure, but you had the government yesterday come out with an announcement that they are going to go ahead with a move that is related to procuring of a number of military platforms and weapons worth about 82,828 crore rupees. That includes light tanks, anti-ship missiles, and as well as long-range guided bombs. This move is in order to boost the combat capabilities of the armed forces. The approval for 24 capital acquisition proposals, including 6 for Indian Army, 6 for Indian Air Force, 10 for Indian Navy, and 2 for Indian Coast Guard. So this is a move that is coming in by the Defence Ministry in order to boost the capabilities and also indigenize the defence sector. So on back of that, you have defence counters in focus, but let's not forget that they've seen massive rally, and now you're seeing profit booking in all of these counters.
Yeah, also largely in tandem with what the rest of the market is up to today. Moving right on then, let's discuss the only space where you're seeing some amount of green, and that would be the pharma pocket. In particular, Kunal, why Strides Pharma?
So if you look at the Strides Pharma's performance, yesterday this counter made a high of around 392. And yesterday itself it gave up all its gain, and in today's session it's down by around 2.5%, near to 355. Now if I look at the chart, there was a clear inverse head and shoulder breakout formation near to 357. Right now the counter is trading right near to the breakout zone, that's 355. So let's initiate a buy here with the stop loss of 345 in mind. I think this seems to be like a retesting of the breakout. So stop loss being 345, one can initiate a buy. The target can be 380s and 395 again in the time to come.
All right, moving right on then, let's discuss Ingersoll, and that's in the spotlight in today's trading session. The company is in focus as the board has approved the setting up of a new manufacturing facility. This is in Gujarat in order to increase the company's overall manufacturing capacity of their existing products and to manufacture some new products. The company has said that this project requires an investment of about 170 odd crores, and that would be financed via their internal accruals. The existing capacity is about 10,000 units per month, and the capacity utilization rate is 100%. The company proposes to add a capacity of 5,000 units per month daily, initially by the end of September 2024, to help catering to demand from the domestic and export markets. They said that the current projects for growth need additional space with the current plant at Naroda, which the current plant at Naroda cannot fulfill. So this plant is going to help secure space for immediate expansion and propel future growth prospects.
Right, moving on, Kunal, Suven Pharma, this one is a bright spot as well in today's trading session, like some of the pharma names. Where do you see Suven Pharma headed from here on?
So again, if you look at the performance of this counter of last 6 months, it was more or less sideways consolidation. This counter tested 500 zone almost 3 times in last 6 months, and the extreme low was near to 350. And in today's session, we can see the good volume happening, and it's giving that breakout feeling as of now. We'll have to just keep a watch on whether this counter is closing above 505, 510 kind of zone. And after that, we initiate a buy on this. So it's going to be a conditional counter right now. Wait for the breakout of 505. Once the counter closes above 505, initiate a buy with the stop loss of 475 and target being 600.
All right, there you have it. That's the word coming in on some of those pharma stocks in today's trading session. Meantime, let's discuss today's listings, and we've got Landmark Cars and Aban's Housing. Lisa, they're both in the spotlight.
The week listing of Solar Vineyards, we have 2 new entrants, that is Landmark Cars and Aban Holdings, and it was a weak debut on the bourses for them. While Landmark Car, it got listed at a discount of 6.9% at 471. Aban Holdings share price, it opened at a tad bit higher than its issue price of 270. The listing was at 273, but the stock has plunged as much as 19%. So yes, the new IPOs, they have failed to impress the investors, and thanks to the negative market sentiments and also the muted response to the IPOs. Back to you.
That is the new listings for the day, both of them down and out in today's trading session. Kunal, before I come to you to talk about Ashok Leyland, let's talk about what is happening in the broader markets. You could actually term it as a carnage in the broader market. Small cap index is down excess of 4% as we speak. Mid cap index is down over 3%. The breadth of the market is tilted extremely towards the negative side. So where do you see broader markets headed from here on? If in last few weeks, if we saw that outperformance and people were trying to cheer for broader markets, that wouldn't be the scene or case going ahead, right?
Absolutely. So again, if I just I'm just tracking one of the indices here, and that's Nifty Midcap 100 Index. If you look at the index, it has fallen sharply for this entire week. It's down by around 5% by now, and in today's session itself, as you rightly said, it's down by 3.5%. But if you look at the overall formation, it's been in the sideways behavior since August 2022. So yes, it's coming near to the support. Still a couple of percentages more to go. I think 2.5% more to go. That would be the good time to think of accumulating the counter, because this decline, we'll have to see whether it's making a lower top, lower bottom as per the technicals. If so, we'll have to be cautious. Otherwise, this can be again a good buying opportunity for the next rally to come. So for time being, keep a sideline, keep the watch on the favorite counters and wait for the reversal.
All right, fair enough. That's the view coming in on the broader markets. Meantime, let's discuss Ashok Leyland and Kunal. It's been awfully range bound in the last 6 months, not really done a whole lot. Is there some sort of a move that you're foreseeing on the upside?
Absolutely. As you rightly said, sideways consolidation says 6 months, and the counter is been near to 140 marks almost 5 times. This is the 5th time where the counter is near to 140. It's trading at 139. So let's initiate a buy here near to the support level itself. Stop loss being 135. I think this counter can show us 150, 155 again.
All right, moving on. Harsh, let's talk about GAIL India, and why is this one in focus today?
Well, Cheryl, we've seen LIC hike its stake in GAIL India by 2% of market cap. That's a large number. So we're seeing LIC, buying earlier was at 4.8%. Now the stake has gone up to 6.83%. So significant buying that we've seen in GAIL. The other piece also is that there's been a block deal on GAIL today. Subsequent to that LIC disclosure, around 11 lakh shares have exchanged hands as well. But despite all of that, the stock continues to trade in the red, down 2.4% as we speak.
All right, moving on, let's talk about Biocon, and why is this one in focus is actually shining bright in trade today because it has been issued a good manufacturing practice GMP certificate for compliance by the European Directorate for the Quality and Medicines of Healthcare for their API manufacturing facility, which is located in Bangalore. This certification is based on the GMP inspection of the site that was conducted between the 12th and 14th of September. And on back of that, you have Biocon that was actually soaring in trade today. But as of now, it has lost most of its ground and down, now gaining about 0.6% as we speak.
Moving on then, and it's metals in the spotlight. Kunal is picking out an NMDC at 112 rupees. What exactly is it that you are advising our viewers?
So now here, the interesting observation is that between 18th and 21st of November, so November, there was a gap up open, and that gap up open was right near to 110 and 112. And since then, this counter clearly was in the uptrend, and recently it's come down to retest that zone. It's going to be again a conditional buy. We'll have to evaluate whether this counter holds this 112 mark for a day or two. If the counter consolidates near this level, then this can be a very good level to reinitiate a buy, stop loss being 105 and target being again 125. But keep a watch on it. Should not be buying immediately. Wait for the counter to consolidate near this zones. I think this is one of the best counters to pick again in the metal space.
All right, wait for a bit of consolidation before buying into NMDC. IRCTC then, that's at number 38, and the stock in the spotlight today. The company has said, or the government is proposing to offer up to 40 lakh equity shares to eligible employees of the company at a price of 680 per equity share. The offer for sale for employees is going to remain open starting today till the 26th of December. 613 at the lowest point of the trading day. That's where IRCTC is currently at.
Right, moving on, Lisa, BHEL is a counter that you're tracking for all of us. And what's the news surrounding this particular counter?
BHEL, they have entered into a technology license agreement with Sumitomo SHI Finland for their CFBC boilers, and that will strengthen BHEL's comprehensive capabilities, and it will also cater to their power plant emission norms and also contribute to government's Make in India initiative. So this technology will enable BHEL to provide biomass co-fired CFBC boilers. Stock is under pressure today, in sync with the market. It's down around 6%. However, it's not only today. In the last 5 days also, the stock has seen pressure, and it's down 9% in the last 5 days.
All right, let's move right on then. And Kunal, discuss the charts of BHEL as well, because finally we've seen BHEL fired up. Then there was a bit of consolidation. What's going on the charts?
Exactly, as you correctly said, it's fired up, and there was a very decisive breakout near to 78 mark. The counter went up to 91. From there, it came back again to near to 74 mark. As of now, also, if you look at the daily chart, the trend is very much intact. So keeping that in mind, we can initiate a buy right at this level itself. Stop loss being 71. I think this counter can again zoom back to 85 and 86 once the market consolidates a bit.
All right, moving on, Harsh, we spoke about the technical aspects of Lupin, but on the fundamentals, why is Lupin on your list?
Lupin's in focus, Cheryl, largely on the back of a voluntary recall that they've made of 4 lots of quinapril tablets, and this is in the US and specific to the US, and that's due to presence of an impurity called nitrosamine, which has been found in those tablets. What Lupin has said is that no reports of any illness appear to have been reported, at least as of now, on this issue. But they've gone ahead and notified wholesalers, distributors, drug chains, and mail order pharmacies as well as supermarkets to enable that recall. So what they've done is they've started recalling some of these tablets. Of course, the stock was higher in early trade today, in line with the Nifty Pharma Index, but as you can see, it's lost all of those gains and now trading very close to the day's low, but still down only a 1/10%.
All right, and that is Lupin for you. But let's take a look at what the aviation counters are doing right now, because a short while ago you had flashes on the bottom of the screen, which is talking about DGCA, who's proposed measures to protect the consumer and passenger rights as well as interests. Under that, what they're saying, if a passenger has denied to board or they're being downgraded, the airline will fully refund the air ticket, including the taxes, to the consumer. And not just the airfare, airline will also take the passenger free of cost in the next available class. They're also saying the amendment has been proposed in the civil aviation requirements, which will now go through the process of public consultation. And after public consultation, the proposed norm will come into effect. Among that, also what they are saying is, what they proposed is the airline should be fined about 10,000 rupees on flight cancellation, 20,000 rupees fine for denying boarding to passengers. So these are certain recommendations that are come in by the DGCA. It is open for public consultation, and once that is approved, once they get the consultation, all the required documents on that particular fact, it may become a norm. So on back of that, you have aviation counters that are in focus down and out in trade today.
All right, moving on then to an ET Now exclusive, and the Mahalingam committee has suggested nil GST for fund managers providing services to foreign investors from the current 18%. Sources tell ET Now that the proposal is likely to be discussed by the council in its next meeting. My colleague Meghna Mittal joins in with all the details. Meghna?
Right, so remember, Finance Ministry had formed a committee on the private equity and venture capitalists so that they can improve the tax environment for both of these, especially the foreign funds that are coming into India. This 6-member committee is headed by former SEBI member Mahalingam. Now what the sources are confirming to us that the committee has submitted its final report to the Finance Ministry and have made major recommendations. Now, one of the recommendations that this committee has proposed is that the GST of 18% that is currently paid by the AMCs, the asset management companies, to the services provided to the foreign investors, that should be brought down to nil. So this is a major recommendation that has been made by this committee. Now remember, currently these services that are provided by AMCs in the gift city, which is an SEZ, that are currently exempt already. But this committee has proposed that all over India, the services provided by fund managers to the foreign investors should be brought down to zero. So this is a major relief that will be likely for the AMCs once this proposal is approved by the GST Council, because this proposal is likely to be discussed in the next GST Council meeting. Now, another issue was on the taxation of ESOPs that the committee did discuss, and what the sources are confirming that this committee has recommended status quo on the ESOP taxation. That was another industry demand to review it, but so far as the committee is concerned, they have proposed no change in the ESOP taxation. So some major recommendations by the committee, we await to see if the GST of 18% for the AMCs is brought down to nil by the GST Council.
All right, thank you so much for that, Meghna. But with that, we come to the end of this edition of Market Fatafat. It's a goodbye from Avan, myself, and the team that put the show together. But before we wind down, as we step closer to 2023, Alchemy Capital's Hidden Ved believes that India has behaved like a strong stock and is likely to remain the same way come next year. Here's a sneak peek into that exclusive conversation.
India has behaved in 2022 like a strong stock, right? If India was one stock, it has behaved like a strong stock. It outperformed global markets. It didn't fall much when global markets were falling. And at the slightest sign of stability, the markets would kind of go up. Will India continue to remain a strong stock? I think yes. Right now, whether some other markets, because of a very low base, may outperform India next year, like a lot of people are hypothesizing that China may do better because China has fallen so dramatically, right? That may happen. But I think India's structural growth story post-COVID has never been as strong as we are witnessing today. So I think my bet, more than trying to predict what the returns are going to be, I think, as they say in markets, stay with strength, get out of weakness. I think I would stay with the Indian markets because clearly it is exhibiting strength.